Hey, it's me, Dan Benjamin, with a quick video today about the brand new Shure MV7. It's awesome, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Stay tuned. That's right. We're talking about this brand new microphone. It's only been out, I think, for a few weeks now, and it's the latest offering from Shure. It's geared toward podcasters 1,000%, and I'm really impressed with this thing. I wasn't sure what to expect because, as you all know, for a long time now, today I'm on the Telefunken, which has really been my 50% of the time microphone, depending on what I'm doing, but I've switched back to it full time. Most of you know that for a long time I talk about, love, and recommend the Shure SM7B. This is an amazing microphone. It's used all over the broadcast industry for good reason. It's a wonderful microphone that is great for experienced broadcasters as well as people who have never broadcasted before. It's just a very forgiving mic. It's a great mic, and it's again rightfully popular. And the downside to it, though, is that it can be a little bit expensive. It, I think, lists for about $399, and you've got to have a preamp for it. Most preamps don't provide it with enough gain. Again, we've talked on this channel many times about dynamic mics, and they tend to be gain hungry. You need a preamp that can give you at least in the upper 50s of decibels of gain just to power this thing, just so you can even hear your voice through it. And once you get into those levels of gain, you're really at risk for a lot of noise. Just the noise floor tends to be high. So what I'm talking about is if you've plugged something like this in, a dynamic mic that requires a lot of gain, you've got to turn that gain all the way up. And as you get to the very upper threshold of what your preamp can do, you start to hear a noise like hiss and other things, and room noise becomes very pronounced, and that's just not what you want to do. Hence the cloud lifter, which I've made a video about. A lot of people will use a cloud lifter with a mic like this and their existing preamp to get the amount of gain that this microphone needs, just so that you can hear your voice. That's not a bad thing. It just means you've got to have some equipment to run this guy. And that's something that a lot of podcasters and broadcasters, for that matter, don't always have. So enter the Shure MV7. The MV7, of course, let me just double check the price right now. Yeah, the MV7 is going for about $249 right now as of today, which is $150 less. But are you getting something that's worth $150 less, or you may be getting something that's worth maybe even more? Well, that depends on what you're going to be using it for and how you're going to be using it. But let me tell you a bit about what my experiences are with this microphone. And before I go into too much detail about it, I just want to ask everybody if you could please subscribe to the channel. It helps me, it helps YouTube know that you guys are out there. Like the video, even if you don't subscribe, makes a huge difference, Please do that. And if you're into this stuff, click the bell, because that'll let you know when I come out with a new video for y'all. And I love doing these, so please do that. It really helps me, it helps the channel. Now, as far as this microphone goes, what's different about this than the Shure SM7B? Well, the first thing is, and if I hold these up, and I'm also going to do some close-up shots for you, you can see that they're a little bit different in size. See, and again, I'll show you some close-ups. But one of the main differences is size, but that's not the primary difference. The sound from them is actually pretty similar to the Shure SM7B, and you're going to find below in the description, you're going to see that there are some links where I did some actual tests speaking into both microphones at the very same time, just like this, and recording them. You'll be able to hear the difference in those two tracks. Of how one sounds compared to the other, both plugged into the same exact preamp. In this case, I'm using the Scarlett Focusrite, Scarlett 8i8, but all of their preamps in the Scarlett range are pretty similar. But using the same preamp, same exact gain settings, speaking through both mics in the same distance away. That's what those audio clips are. So you can hear it and listen for yourself, and they're going to be totally unprocessed. So you're going to hear exactly what the microphone picks up. No EQ, no compression, nothing. That's, of course, with my voice, and your voice is very different than my voice, but it will still give you a really good idea of how different, or how similar really, the microphones sound, and they do sound very similar. The other thing that's so important, and what makes this, I think, the mic for a serious podcaster, is that yes, it's going to be just as gain hungry as the Shure SM7B. So then why am I saying maybe the MV7 is better? Well, it's because, and again, this is something that's really cool and really geared toward modern podcasters and broadcasters, is the fact that this microphone provides you not only an XLR input, but a USB input. What that means is you can plug this guy directly into your computer, and it's going to work just like any USB microphone, except it's a dynamic mic and it sounds pretty much like the Shure SM7B, but you don't need the preamp, you don't need the cloud lifter, you don't need any of that stuff. It just works. And that's kind of remarkable. A friend of mine, an audio engineer, said, Dan, I want you to record using the USB and also the XLR so I can compare them. So I sent him over some files, and he couldn't really tell a difference between the onboard preamp that's inside of this thing that connects to the USB and running it through the Focusrite preamp that I have. That is pretty remarkable, and that's what makes me want to pick this microphone here for pretty much every podcaster out there, because you can have this microphone plugged into your existing, you get a good preamp, use it. You don't have any preamp at all, plug it right into your computer. Another thing worth mentioning is this microphone has the same exact built-in shock mount and attachment system to your boom or your desk stand as the Shure SM7 does. It looks a little bit different. The Shure SM7 is a little bit more robust in the way that it connects, and it's got the mic connector right there up at the top, which makes for a really clean, nice looking setup. The XLR input is on the back of this, no big though, and this can plug into your boom so that if it's hanging down, you're talking into it to address it, front address like that, or you can attach it to a desktop stand just like that, and you're going to be able to have this sitting right on your desk. Of course, I recommend a boom. I'm using a nice boom here. There's lots of different boom options. I need to do, I guess, an episode about that. But just mentioning that this mic is just as versatile as any other mic, and it really does work very nicely as a front address mic when mounted on a nice boom like this. Now, the one thing I will note is there's a very interesting kind of a volume meter that's built into the top of this. So you just by touching your finger to the top of it, it's touch sensitive and allows you to adjust the built-in microphone as well as the built-in headphone jack so that you can monitor. I've talked many times about how important it is to monitor yourself when you are recording. This lets you do that. So basically, you plug this guy in, your computer sees it both as a microphone and as headphones. So you plug your headphones into it, and that lets you hear your guests, your co-hosts, right through the same earphones that you're monitoring yourself on, all in one package. Most USB mics do this. This isn't unique to this microphone in any special way, but the fact that it has it is great, and you can control the volume the same way. But my point was, I had to turn up the built-in preamp that's built into this microphone all the way to max to get it to the levels that I'm used to getting when it's plugged into a preamp. Just a note, nothing bad about it, but it has plenty of the gain that it needs to power itself. So I love this thing. I would absolutely use this mic as my primary mic if I wasn't already so attached to this Telefunken and didn't already have a Shure SM7B in the house or in the studio technically. But if you are just getting into this and you're like, I want a good microphone and I've got $250 to spend, look no further than the Shure MV7. It is, no, it is the MV7. This election stuff is making me a little loopy today. I'm not even going to edit this out. It stays in the show. But I love this mic. I highly recommend it. And I think that if you're serious about podcasting or think you might be serious, or you're doing voiceover work and you don't want to invest in a lot of other equipment and buy a more expensive microphone, this microphone is really a do-it-all mic. This is going to be the microphone I take with me when I travel, and I'll still sound like me. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge advantage. You can travel with this. You can plug it into your home studio, your real studio. You can use this thing wherever you go. And for the money, it is just outstanding. So my recommendation is, yeah, I think this is the mic. And from now on, don't ask me what mic you should get. It's the Shure MV7. This thing is amazing. So check it out. That's all we got for today, but I really do appreciate it. Again, like, subscribe, ring the bell. It lets me know, it lets the YouTube algorithms know, and share this video with somebody that you know. And don't forget to download those audio samples that are down below that I made for you so you can hear how good this thing actually sounds. That's it for today. We'll see y'all next time.